Hey, AshleyAllThingsIntra.com. Dr. Dre put on a great lecture on shade selection, and I'm not going to pretend that I know how to shade select whatsoever, but he did bring up a really good point that I'd never heard of, and well, until I joined the residency last year, was rearranging the shades in the good old Vita VMK68 shade guide. Now, if you're using the 3D, I mean, this is not useful, but in every clinic I've worked in since I was trained, this is the classic shade guide that's there, and the 3D is typically you can use it as well. It's there, but this is the workhorse. So here's how it's typically set up, and like Dr. Dre said, that the letters correspond to colors. So this is typically orange, brown, yellowish, more grayish in the C's, grayish brown, and then reds in the C, the D. So I never, I typically didn't know how to use this coming out of dental school. And I would look at the shades and stick with A1, A2, A3. And then I would see folks using B2 and C3, and I didn't really understand how. So by simply rearranging the shade guide to organize them with regards to their value, so this having high value and low value, and be able to quickly go through like a typewriter, almost like eating corn. If your tooth is here, run the shade guide through past the tooth to select initially your value, and then determine the shade, whether it be more of a grayish or an orangish or a yellow. And this makes it so much more common sense. So again, you would take your shade guide, if here's your tooth, my finger, quickly run it by and select the value, because that's the most important, and then say, well, right around the C1 area, now are we going to be more orange brownish, or are we going to be more gray, or more in the grays, or are we going to have more reddish, as you can see here. So I mean, of course, shade selection is subjective. This is just another little aid, and please watch if this helps, take a look at the video by Dr. Dre discussing more in-depth shade selection. Cheers.